That's the way it was in the second half for the Celtics. The defense leading the offense. What's up and welcome to Celtics postgame live. Tom Giles, Eddie House with the C's picking up a 122-106 win. A 16-point win, Eddie, for the Celtics, who actually trailed by 16 at one point in this game. And it just looked like two totally different teams that you saw for the Celtics going back to the end of that second quarter.
Yeah, well, early on, I felt like they just came in and was going through the motions. They were just taking shots. They weren't playing hard. They didn't play with the energy that I was hoping they would come and start the game with. But then Rob Williams came in at the end of that second quarter, and I think his energy ignited the team, and it carried over into the second half. I mean, we talk about that play where he was on the ground wrestling around for a loose ball, kicked it out, and it ended up being a three from Malcolm Brogdon. And so it's those type of plays that, you know, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but if you watch the game, to me, that's a very important play, especially the way that the game had been unfolding at that particular time.
Yeah, Rob Williams all over the floor and then creating a number of second chance points with his offensive rebounding in this one. And it was really that 53-27 run that the Celtics went on. And this was, you know, late in the second quarter that carried through that third quarter. And as you mentioned, they just came out of the locker room. And Rob Williams providing that energy, but, you know, everyone stepping up, including Malcolm Brogdon, but basically an emphatic run there by the Celtics to show that we are the best team in basketball.
No doubt. And they got stops. You think about it, in the first half, the Hornets were shooting 58% from the field. That means you're getting everything you want. We were getting beat up in the paint. We were losing they were plus 20, 36-16. to a team that has championship aspirations, and the Celtics, they were up on them, and it got turned around. All it was energy, effort, and just to recalibrate and refocus on what is your main goal, right? And we can't continue to play to the level of our competition. We have to play where we're at, and if they can't meet, then, hey, that's on them. We can't worry about them.
And that energy and that effort leading to the Celtics' sixth straight win. And, of course, Al Horford playing a big part in that tonight as well. He's standing by with Abby Chin. Abby?
Al, you guys fell behind by double digits early in this game. What changed near the end of the second quarter?
Well, we started playing with more energy. I felt like they were playing at a different level than we were, and we had to kind of match that intensity. And for us to start it with Rob and his energy, getting offensive rebounds, making effort plays, that got us going.
How special is the depth on this team? Able to sustain injuries to two starters tonight, and everyone stepping up a little bit more.
It's great to see our guys get after it. They stay prepared. It was nice to see Peyton come out there, play with a lot of confidence. Malcolm have a big game tonight. So it speaks to our team. We have a team that's very deep, and guys stay ready.
Joe Mazzulla said pregame this was going to be a challenge for you guys in respecting your opponent and playing with maturity. Do you feel like you guys were able to do that?
We did a better job in the second half. First half, I don't think we did, but we have to stay on edge. We have another one quickly here on Monday, and we have to be better from the start on Monday.
Yeah, do you like these mini baseball series, staying here, no travel?
I like the fact of staying here. I don't know how I feel about them, though. We haven't done very well in them so far, so Monday's key for us to get a win.
Another opportunity, Al. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you heard Abby reference right there. You know, the Celtics down two starters, and Jaylen Brown was already out. But then you have Derek White going out 4 minutes into the game with the neck sprain, and everyone needing to step up. And Eddie, you even said at halftime, even when Malcolm Brogdon had 14 points, look for Malcolm Brogdon to continue to step up for him, and he did tonight. 30 points. That's the most he's had in a Celtics uniform, and he was huge.
Yeah, it was big time. And I think that he had extended minutes and understanding the most comfortable thing as a player is understanding where your minutes are coming, how your minutes are coming, and what you're supposed to do with your minutes. And it was clear cut. You know, when Derek White went out, it was clear cut that Malcolm Brogdon is going to be a guy that they're going to lean on heavily, right? Peyton Pritchard and all those other guys, you know, you're going to get your opportunity, but we're going to really lean on you, Malcolm. And this is an opportunity for him at the same time to show, because it's not about who starts the game. It's about who finishes the game. to show that you could trust me in these big time minutes. I could be on the court and I can play with Jason Tatum. I can play with Al Horford. I can play with Marcus Smart. I can play with Rob Williams, and I can play with Jaylen Brown. That might be one of those lineups where you say, oh, this is a different lineup. We haven't really seen too much of that. So this is a great opportunity for him, and everybody should seize the moment. You know, when your moment comes, seize that moment. Be the best in that moment that you can be. And he did that tonight. I mean, and it's not about him just scoring, because it's about him being ready. It's about him being ready. Before the game, it was questionable if he was going to play for personal reasons, right? Mentally, he was there tonight. Mentally, he was there tonight, and he came out and balled out, and hopefully whatever he was going through personally is okay and things like that. So great job by him. And like you said, I spoke on that. Like, he has an opportunity to really step up and solidify himself to be a guy that could be trusted deep in the playoffs when you're running these playoff runs and be with the starters.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I think sometimes when you think about last year's Celtics team, which reached the NBA Finals, how good that team was, and then you add a guy like Malcolm Brogdon into the mix as your sixth man, you know, a guy who was a leader in Indiana, one of their better players, to just insert him in and then have him be able to step up when you're down a couple guys. It really brings into focus how good this team is and how deep they are, as Al Horford mentioned there.
Yeah, it's invaluable. When you have depth, it's invaluable. You can never have too many players that can play the game of basketball, that have a high basketball IQ, that can make plays for themselves and also make plays for others, knock down open shots and be prepared for the moment and actually be true professionals going through whatever they're going through. You know, personally, if it is, I'm not playing enough, this guy's playing in front of me, whatever it is, I keep coming out. I think I should get more minutes, but always being ready.
All right, let's bring in Scal now down in Charlotte as well. Scal, we've talked about Malcolm Brogdon. We hit on a little bit about Rob Williams' energy, but what stood out to you most about the Celtics able to kind of start that run at the end of the second quarter and ride it through to a 16-point win?
Yeah, it's their ability to flip a switch. I thought that Charlotte was going to end up having 140 points in this game, and it was going to be one of those type of games. But Joe Mazzulla called the second timeout, and since that moment, the Celtics came out defensively, I mean, flying all over the place, guarding, being smart defensively, not over-helping, and Rob Williams had some critical energy plays. And then I heard you guys already talk about Malcolm Brogdon. I mean, Eddie's putting in the words, but it is really, really difficult to find a guy who could be a role player one night, be the guy where you have your full team, and then when guys go down to be able to do what he did tonight, that's not easy to find out there. And you could see why the Celtics gave up that first-round pick to get him, and they're willing to say whatever, like, forget his injury history. If we were going to win a championship, Malcolm Brogdon is the type of guy that's going to help us win this championship.
Yeah, and the 30 points again from Malcolm Brogdon tonight. The ball movement, too, I think is something we haven't hit on, but the Celtics had 36 assists tonight, and they had just 7 turnovers. And I know, Eddie, you talk about that all the time, and Scal, you as well. Taking care of the basketball and moving the ball. 36 assists, 7 turnovers, Eddie.
Yeah, well, that's trust, too, as well. It's just making the right play. And let's not get it twisted. You know, Charlotte is a very bad defensive team. So in the first few in the first half, up until like the last part of that second quarter, I felt like we bailed them out. We didn't give our offense a lot of opportunities to do what we wanted to do. We took some threes. We had a lot of assists, but I felt like if we attacked a lot more, we could get what we wanted. And I also like what Joe Mazzulla did. He got the ball to Jason Tatum in certain situations to where go quick, make plays. And once he started making plays, it seemed like not only his whole game opened up, it opened up for everybody else. And it's like a snowball effect. It was an avalanche of buckets. The defense started, but it all started with this. Real talk. And Scal, you could back me up if you want to or not, but it started with Rob Williams in that second quarter, at the end of the second quarter, with his energy. The play when he dove on the floor, got the loose ball, wrestled it away, kicked it out. To me, that set the tone for the team from that point on. Everybody else followed suit after that play.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that we'll remember the 30 points, Tatum going off. The Tatum post-ups have been great, but Rob Williams, that it was a couple offensive rebounds the Celtics kept getting, but Rob was getting his hand on the ball, and then the fact that he hit the floor, and then I think he kicked it out to, was it Brogdon or Al Horford, who stuck a three?
He hit Horford then to Brogdon.
Yeah, that's right. So those are the plays right there that, to me, that changed this game around. But it wasn't, the Celtics could have flipped the switch anytime. It was a little dangerous because we've gone down this road before with some of the bad teams in the NBA. But I like what we end up seeing from the team once Joe Mazzulla called that second timeout.
And again, we're seeing Rob Williams also get more minutes now. He got 30 minutes the other night, so it seems like they're becoming more comfortable with using Rob Williams for some extended minutes. Scout, thanks so much for joining us.